Welcome back. In this class, we are going to learn about the experiments, the series of experiments that proves the DNA as a genetic material. DNA as a genetic material. First, we are going to learn the transformation principle given by F. Dubil, or it is also called as transformation experiment. Transformation experiment. This given by Frederick Griffith or F. Griffith in the year 1928. F. Griffith in the year 1928. He did a simple experiment. He proved that, or he concluded that, some material which is able to transfer from one bacteria to another bacteria. What is this experiment? He started working on a pathogenic bacteria called Streptococcus pneumoniae. Is also called Diplococcus pneumoniae. Streptococcus pneumoniae or Diplococcus pneumoniae. The Streptococcus pneumoniae are having the two strains. There are two strains. One is called R strain. Other one is called S strain. What is R strain and what is S strain? The Streptococcus pneumoniae, which is having a capsule or the extra envelope made up of a polysaccharide or a mucilage membrane around it. When a Streptococcus or a Diplococcus, it is having the extra coat or the mucopolysaccharide present around it produces the smooth colonies on the media. The smooth colonies on the media. The strain of the Streptococcus pneumoniae does not having this envelope or a capsule or a mucilaginous sheath made up of polysaccharide. It produces a rough colony on the media. Rough colonies on the media. This is a petri dish introduced by the student of Robert Koch called Petri. This is the petri dish where we are able to cultivate the bacteria. We grow the bacteria in this dish. Media is nothing but, I said that media is nothing but the component required to grow the bacteria. And agar is a jellyfying agent. So when we put the media on this, in this petri dish, when we pour the media on the petri dish, it forms the semi-solid agar mass. It is called media. So when the bacteria growing in this petri dish, we found the smooth colonies. There is a smooth colonies on the media. When it produces the smooth colonies, that is called smooth S strain. When it produces the rough colonies, that is called R strain. Streptococcus pneumonia having two different strains. One having the capsule surrounded by it, or the mucilaginous sheath, mucous membrane. It is made up of a polysaccharide. It is called. It produces, when it is having the polysaccharide membrane, it produces a smooth colony on the media. It is called S strain. If it is not produces the smooth colony on the media because this mucous polysaccharide is absent in another strain of Streptococcus pneumoniae. It is called R strain. So this mucopolysaccharide responsible for or protective covering of a streptococcus is helpful for the capsule sheath is helpful for escaping from the phagocytic action by the host immunity. So this strain is a virulent strain. This mucopolysaccharide or the mucilaginous seed or the capsule present around the strain is responsible for, or it protects the Streptococcus pneumoniae escape the phagocytic action of the host immunity. Thus, it is a virulent strain, pathogenic strain. This causes the disease. This causes the pneumonia, and the animal or the human beings are dying because of pneumonia. As the R strain is not having or it is not covered with any mucous membrane, mini mucous membrane, it can easily destroyed by the phagocytic action of the human immunity or the animal immunity. So it is not non-virulent strain. Non-virulent strain. It does not harm to the either man or the animals. So this is mucilaginous is protective covering or is helpful for escaping the phagocytic action by the immune system of the human beings. So the two strains are there. What the experiment he did is he injected the F. Griffith injected the live strain to the mice. Mice got died. Why it died? Because strain having the mucilaginous seed which escaped from the phagocytic action, and it is a virulent strain is caused the disease in the mice, and mice got died. Then he injected live R strain to the mice. Mice got survived. Why it is survived? Why the mice survived when the R strain is injected? Because it is a non-virulent strain. It died because when it injected to the strain is a virulent strain. It caused the disease, and the mice died because of the disease. But R strain is a non-virulent strain. Mice survived. Then he injected attenuated or heat killed strain. The mice survived. Why it is survived? The question. When the attenuated is done, means heat killed a strain, when the bacteria or the viruses, when they are heat killed or attenuated, they lost the capacity of virulence, they lost the capacity of pathogenicity, they lost the capacity to cause the disease. Thus, the attenuated strains of the viruses are used in the vaccination purpose. They lost the capacity of pathogenicity but retain the capacity of immunogenicity, means they provoke the synthesis of antibody in us. So when he injected attenuated, heat killed a strain to the mice got survived because a strain lost the capacity of infection, it lost the capacity of virulence. The mucus polysaccharide is lost because of the heat. When heat killed or attenuated strain of a strain, it is injected to the mice got survived. And lastly, what he did, he injected heat killed a strain plus live or strain to the mice died. Mice died. Why it is that? See, when live or strain is injected, when live or strain is injected, mice got survive. When attenuated strain or weak till strain is injected, mice got survive. When we mix the attenuated strain in the R strain, mice died. Mice died. So surprised, he is surprised with this, and he checked blood of the mice. The blood of the mice under the microscope. He found that live strain present in the dead mice, in the blood of dead mice. Then he concluded that some material from heat-killed strain is responsible for the synthesis of the mucopolysaccharide or a capsule is transferred to the strain and converting them into a strain, non-virulent strain to the virulent strain. So some material from heat-killed strain which is responsible for the mucopolysaccharide is transferred to the R strain and making them into virulent strain, and thus the mice died. This is the conclusion given by the expert Griffith during his experiment. What is experiment? F. Griffith in 1928 he did one experiment on Streptococcus pneumoniae. The Streptococcus pneumoniae having two strains, one R strain, other one is S strain. S strain is nothing but it produces the mucopolysaccharide or a capsule around it, thus forming the smooth colonies. As the mucopolysaccharide is present around it, it escapes from the phagocytic action of the immunity of either a man or the animal, and it is a virulent, and it causes the disease, and it is a virulent strain. So R strain, it produces the rough colony on the media because it is not having any capsules, and because of the non-capsule or not capsule is having the R strain, is a non-virulent. It can be easily destroyed by the phagocytic action by the immune system. So what he did, he injected the live strain to the mice. Mice got survived. Mice got died because S strain is a virulent strain. Because of the pathogenicity, virulence capacity, S strain died. When he injected the R strain, the mice got survived. Why it survived? Because R strain is a non-virulent strain. It is not having the capacity to cause the disease. When he injected heat-killed strain to the mice, mice get survived. When the killing of the strain loses the capacity of virulence, loses the capacity of pathogenicity, thus mice die. Survive. So when he injected both live R strain and heat-killed strain to the mice got died. It made surprise to him why the mice died. It raises the question why the mice died when non-virulent strain and heat-killed that lost the capacity of pathogenicity both injected to the mice got died. Then he observed the blood of the dead mice. He found that the live strains, thus the mice died. Then not injected the live strain. How the live strain is found in the blood of mice? He said, or he concluded that some material, said the word some material from heat-killed strain is transferred to the R strain. That material is responsible for the mucopolysaccharide synthesis. That material is responsible for the mucopolysaccharide synthesis is transferred to the R strain, converting them into virulent strain, that is S strain. Thus the mice. So this is about the transformation experiment given by F. Griffith. In the year this continued in the discovery of DNA as a genetic material. In the year 1944, the three scientists, Avery, McCoy, and McCarthy used the last step of Griffith experiment. They said that the DNA is material. Before that, it is a confusion. F. Griffith said that some material from heat kill S strain is transferred to the R strain and the mice is died because that material is helpful for the synthesis of mucopolysaccharide and making the R strain into virulent S strain. He said some material. There is a confusion between three material which transfer from heat kill S strain to the R strain. The materials are proteins, RNA, and among these materials, there is a confusion which one is the genetic material, either DNA or RNA or a protein. There is a confusion started as the Griffith said some material. The confusion got started. Some said the proteins is a genetic material. Some scientists said the RNA is a genetic material. Some scientists said DNA is a genetic material. So, in the year 1944, every McCoy and McCarthy started or did one experiment or chemical characteristics of the F. Griffith or transformation principle. Which material which transform from heat kill S strain to the R strain. What they did? They extracted the chemical component present in the live or heat kill S strain. They collected the chemical component, that is the protein, RNA and DNA which is present, because there is a confusion that either a DNA or RNA or a protein is a genetic material. So what they did, they collected or extracted the material present in the heat kill strain, that is the protein, RNA and DNA. They injected or they treated with certain enzymes, then they injected it to the mice. What the enzymes they used? They used three kind of enzymes. Protein, DNA, RNA, DNA are the protein, RNA, DNA, protein, RNA. So these are the materials. They are extracted from heat kill S strain. They use three enzymes. These are RNase, protease, DNA. What is RNase? RNase is enzyme act on the RNA and destroy it. Protease is the enzyme act on the protein and destroy it. DNA is enzyme which act on the DNA and destroy it. To know which is the genetic material, they use three-step experiment. First, the materials which are extracted from the heat kill S strain are treated with the RNase enzyme. So it treated with the RNase enzyme. So this enzyme is responsible for the cleave of the RNA. Then they are injected into the mice. So the extracted material from the heat kill S strains are treated with the RNase enzyme. The RNase enzyme is responsible for destroying the RNA, and they combine this material with the live R strain, and inject it to the mice. Mice could survive. Then they said that RNA is not a genetic material. RNA is not a genetic material. It is not transferred from heat-killed strain to the R strain. Then the materials which are extracted from heat-killed strains are treated with the proteinase enzyme. That proteinase enzyme is responsible for destroying the protein. So what are the components remain? RNA and DNA. When they treated and mixed with or combined with the R strain, mice died. Mice died because RNA is not genetic material. Some material. Then the RNA transferred to the rRNA, the mice got it. When last step, the DNA, the materials extracted from the heat-killed strain, the DNA enzyme is treated and they are combined with live R strain and injected to the mice. Mice survive. And they say the DNA is real. This is the experiment. What they did? They extracted the materials, that is protein, DNA, RNA from the heat-killed strain, treated with 3 different enzymes. When they treated with RNA enzyme, which destroy the RNA. So, which destroy the RNA, the remaining components are protein and DNA. When the protein and DNA are mixed with the live R strain, mice got died, indicating that the RNA is not genetic material. The material, either a DNA or a protein, that transferred to the live R strain, converting into a strain, and the S strain is a virulent strain. Mice got died. When they treated with the proteinase enzyme, the protein got destroyed, and the 2 components are remained, RNA and the DNA. When they injected them, mixed with the live R strain, the mice got died, and they say that either RNA or DNA transferred to the R strain. Lastly, when they treated the DNA enzyme, DNA got destroyed. There is no DNA present, so only protein and RNA present. So when they combine or mix with the live R strain, these material are non-transferred. Thus, the R strain, the live R strain, is not converted to virulent strain. The mice got survived. It indicate the DNA is the material which transfer from heat-killed strain to the live R strain and converted into virulent strain. And virulent live strain that was found in the blood of dead mice. This is the experiment of Avery, McLeod and McCarty, using the last step or proving the DNA transfer from heat-killed strain to the R strain and the converting it to virulent live strain. And the discovery of the DNA, one more experiment did by the 2 scientists in the year 1952 by Hershey and Chase experiment. Blunder experiment. This proves DNA as a genetic. They use the bacteriophage. For their experiment. Bacteriophage are the viruses that infect. These are the viruses infect bacteria. Why they use only bacteriophage? Why not they use the RNA viruses or the DNA viruses? Because why they not use the plant viruses or the animal viruses? Because the bacteriophages having only two components, either the DNA and thus why they use bacteriophage for their research? Because the bacteriophage, most of the bacteriophage having the DNA as their genetic material, either a single stranded or double stranded, and the protein coat is present around it. They use the bacteriophage, which is a P4 phase of bacteria, and grow in the media. They grow in the media that contain radioactive element. They grow P4 phase into two petri dishes containing two different radioactive elements. One petri dish containing the radioactive element phosphorus 32, other petri dish containing the radioactive element sulfur 35. Why they use the phosphorus 32 and sulfur 35? Because the phosphorus present in the DNA but not present in the proteins. Phosphorus is nothing but the DNA having the backbone, sugar phosphate backbone. So the DNA consists of the phosphorus, but the sulfur is not present in DNA. They use phosphorus because DNA containing the phosphorus but not sulfur. They use sulfur because sulfur 35 radioactive element because the sulfur present in protein, because the sulfur containing amino acid like the methionine and cysteines are present. They are the structural amino acids. These amino acids helpful for the making the protein structure. But the phosphorus is not present in the protein. So DNA having the phosphorus but not sulfur, whereas the proteins having the sulfur but not phosphorus. So what they did? They used P4 phase bacteria and cultivated or grow the media that containing differently. They containing the phosphorus 32 media. Other set of bacteriophages grow cultivated in the media that contain the sulfur 32. Later, they injected P4 phase with what they did? These radio-labeled bacteriophages are injected respectively, differently to two different means they cultivated in two different plates. One plate contained the E. coli with they infected with bacteriophage grown in the media that contain the phosphorus 32. Another petri dish contained the E. coli. They infected with the E. coli. That bacteriophage grown in the media that containing the sulfur 32. After a few means the bacteriophage infect the bacteria, normal infections occur. After a certain period of time, or 20 minutes or 40 minutes, when the bacteria start multiplying, along with that, the bacteriophage infection goes. So, after certain minutes, they did the blending experiment. Means in the centrifuge they did the blending of the experiment and they checked the radiography. Radiography shows that the bacteria or the bacteriophage infected or the bacteriophage that grown in the media contains sulfur 35, the radioactivity always is showing inside the bacteria. And the radiography of the bacteriophage that grown in the sulfur 35 always it shows the radioactivity above or what is that on the surface of the bacteria. This indicated that the DNA is a genetic material which transfer the genetic material into the cell, so that the radioactivity of the bacteriophage which is growing in the phosphorus 32 showing inside the bacteria, the material which is transferred, which is passed into the bacteria is the DNA. Radioactivity showing. The coat containing the sulfur, because the coat is a protein which is not moving inside, so that the radioactivity is not shown inside the bacteria, always it is showing at the surface of the bacteria. So it also proves that the bacteriophage sit on the bacteria, it inject the DNA into the bacteria, and the DNA is responsible for the infection. DNA is responsible for the infection and kills the bacteria. This proves that the DNA is a genetic material. This proves as a DNA is a genetic material. So it is famously called Hasley and Chase blending experiment. What they did? They used the bacteriophages. The bacteriophages cause they are the viruses that infect the bacteria. They use the T4 phages growing in two different media. One media containing sulfur 32 radioactive element, other media containing the phosphorus 32 radioactive element. So this is the idea, because the sulfur is not present in the DNA, the phosphorus is not present in the protein, because the bacteriophage is having only two things, DNA and the protein. When they infected with the bacteria or the E. coli, they found that only radioactivity, blending experiment, they found that only the phosphorus containing bacteriophages have showed the radioactivity inside the bacteria, whereas the sulfur containing bacteriophages show the radioactivity outside the bacteria, indicating that the bacteria, the DNA enters into the cell or the cell of a bacteria and it is responsible for the infection. And they said the DNA, and with this experiment they proved the DNA is the genetic material. The DNA is a genetic material. This way, these three experiments proved the DNA as the genetic material. Thank you very much for the patience listening.